Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We're in Book 2, Chapter 3, Writing Linear Equations and Functions, Lesson 4, Writing an Equation Given 2 points or a table. Now, we know how to do this, so this is really a little bit of review and maybe a slightly new method. Let's try. Okay, so what is the equation of line shown in the graph? What are the two things that you need to write an equation? What do you need to know? Well, the first thing you need to know is the y-intercept. And that we use letter B. And the second thing you need to know is the slope. So let's find, which is M. Let's find the y-intercept first. Now you know me, I like to make my y line yellow, yellow for y, and thus the y-intercept is going to be where my line intercepts the y-axis. So let's take a look at this. So right there at -7, and I'm going to make that a B to remind me that that's the y-intercept. So now I know B equals -7. Okay, the rest is rise over run. And they already gave me two very nice points. And I like to start on the left and move to the right. Now, if I'm on the left, am I going up or down? I'm going up. So that means this is going to be a positive slope. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rise 5, and I run 1. Rise 5, run 1. So M is rise over run on a graph. And in this case, it's 5 over 1, which is just 5. So my equation is y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to replace the m and the b with the information I just got from the graph. So y equals something x plus b. And what is it? 5. And plus -7. Oh no, I can't have a double sign like that. This is my problem here. So adding a negative is the same as subtraction. So I'm going to rewrite this the correct way, which is y equals 5x minus 7. And a puffy cloud of happiness because that's my real answer. All right, now let's do it as if we did not have a graph. And we're just going to find the equation of the line from 2 points. And here are my 2 points. Now, you know I like to label my points. And I'm going to call my first point x1, y1. And my second point, x2, y2. And I'm going to use the slope formula to find the slope. So here we go. Oh. M equals, and it's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the top is going to be 3, and underneath 2. 3 minus -2. And 2 minus 1. Now that's a double sign again, remember? Up here, my double sign was plus -7, and that was subtraction. But here it's minus a negative, and that's the same as addition. So this could really be written as 3 plus 2 over 2 minus 1. So shockingly, I get 5. 3 plus 2 is 5, 2 minus 1 is 1, 5 over 1 is 1, is 5. 5 over 1 is 5. So my slope M is 5. Okay, that's half the information I need. Now, in order to find the B, I'm going to need to pick one of these points and use my slope and I can find b. And now remember, let's go with the given. What have we been given? Well, x and y. I'm going to use the positive numbers. I'm going to use the x2, x3. So given 2, 3, and my slope m. So x equals 2, y equals 3, m equals 5. And it's b. I don't know what b is, so I'm going to use this information in that equation. So here, y is 3, m is 5, x is 2, and let's see, plus b. So 5 times 2 is 10, so 3 equals 10 plus b, minus 10 from both sides. And then it says solve for b, subtract the constant from both sides. I'm doing that. 3 minus 10 is negative 7 equals b, but I'm going to write it the right way. What's the right way? I like the b on the left. b equals negative 7. So now I have the two pieces of information I need in order to solve equations. So in order to write an equation, y equals 5x plus a negative is the same as minus 7. Wait a second, that is the same equation I got up above from the graph. Okay, so now, in order to find the equation from 2 points, first you have to find the slope, then you need 1 point and the slope to get the b, and then you substitute it into y equals mx plus b. So let's start with this one. x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to need both my formulas for this. I'm going to need to find the slope first, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, but I'm also going to need y equals mx plus b. So let's just start with finding the slope. And it's going to be 3 minus negative 2 over 2 minus 1. All right, 3 minus negative 2 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. M equals 1. And now I'm going to use this point, just to prove a point. I'm going to use x equals 1, y equals negative 2, m equals 5. Okay, y equals mx plus b. Negative 2 equals 5 times 1 plus b. Negative 2 equals 5 plus b. Minus 5 from both sides. And you get negative 7 equals b. So I'm going to use negative 7 equals b and m equals 1. And I'm going to fill them both into the equation. Y equals, this isn't 1, Bono, it's 5. Why did you write 1? I don't know. I made a dummy mistake. Yes. I'm looking at it. It's 5 here. It's 5 here. It needs to be 5 in the box. 5. Y equals 5x minus 7. Hey, wasn't that the one we got just before? Yes. And the point I was trying to prove was it doesn't matter which point you pick, you end up with the same b. There's a reason why I do things. Honest, I promise. Okay, now I'm using different points. And x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to fill them into the formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And let's just, M equals, subtracting 1 over 1, 7 over negative 2. So 1 minus 7, 1 minus negative 2. 1 minus 7 is negative 6. 1 minus negative 2 is positive 3. Divide and you get negative 2. So now I know my slope m is negative 2. It doesn't matter which point I pick. I'm going to pick 1, 1 because I like positivity and use y equals mx plus b. And so let's fill in 1 for y and negative 2 for m and 1 for x plus b. 1 equals negative 2 plus b. Add 2 to both sides. 3 equals b. So now I know b and I know m. So y equals m, negative 2x plus 3 is b. Puffy cloud of happiness, because that's my answer. Okay, checkpoint is you. Go for it. Pause the video and try the problem on your own. Remember, can't learn math unless you do math. So start with the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So m equals x1, y1, x2, y2, and negative 4 minus 4. Negative 4 minus 4 over 1 minus 3. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And that becomes positive 4 as a slope. M equals positive 4. Because negative divided by negative is positive. Okay, y equals mx plus b. Doesn't matter which point you pick. Let's use 3 and 4. 4 equals 4 times 3 plus b. 4 equals 12 plus b. Minus 12 from both sides. Negative 8 equals b. And you get b equals negative 8, m equals 4, y equals 4x minus 8. Puffy cloud of happiness, because that's my answer. Okay. Now, let's do it from a table of values. We're going to pick any 2 points. You know me, I like positivity, so I need an x1 and a y1 and an x2 and a y2, but it doesn't matter which, pick any 2 points from the table. Substitute them into the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 41 minus 23 over 8 minus 2. And I've been doing all these in my head, but I don't have to. I can grab my handy-dandy happy little calculator and let that do the math for me. Oh, if only I had a calculator. Oh, here she is. Thought I lost her for a minute. Here we go. N over D, 41 minus 23 over 8 minus 2, and you get 3. All that work just goes down to 3. So my slope, m equals 3. Now, substitute one of the points into y equals mx plus b to find the y-intercept. Oh, 1 point and the slope. So y equals mx plus b. We'll use the smaller one. 23 equals 3 times 2 plus b. 23 equals 6 plus b, minus 6 from both sides, and 17 is b. So now I have my slope, my y-intercept, and I can write it as an equation. Y equals 3x plus 17, puffy cloud of happiness, and that's my equation. Yay! Almost there, we're almost there. I know you're bored already. It's okay, I love you children. Here we go. Checkpoint 2, it's all you. Take a minute, do the problem, pause the video, and when you come back, we'll do it together. I bet you didn't pause the video. Come on, you got to do this. You got to try math in order to learn math. So pick any 2 points. Me, Princess Positivity, I am going to take this as x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. It doesn't matter which points you pick, but positive points usually are easier to work with. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 5 minus 3 on top, 12 minus 9 on the bottom. And absolute cheater Bono, going to use a calculator again. 5 minus 3 on the top, 12 minus 9 on the bottom, 2/3. So now I have a slope that's a fraction for the first time. M equals 2/3, but that's okay because I have a calculator as well as a brain. So let's use these two things, shall we? Y equals mx plus b. It doesn't matter which point you pick here. Pick one point and fill it in. So y is 5 equals 2/3 times 12 plus b. Only this part has to go into the calculator. I already have 2/3 in there, so I just hit times 12, and I get 8. So 5 equals 8 plus b minus 8 from both sides, and -3 equals b. Okay, I have an m, I have a b. Let's write an equation. Y equals, wow, that was a long bell. Y equals 2/3 x minus 3. And a puffy cloud of happiness, and do the independent practice for homework. I will talk to you soon.